Joining us in studio is a awesome guest, Angelo Giuffre from the Spire Theater. I'm sure your title, Angelo, must be really, really long because I'm pretty sure you do everything over there. You and your wife, Elsa.
Yeah, we have a lot of hats that we wear. I guess, like in this particular instance, it's a director of programming.
And you know, you guys from programs like Chautauqua's Got Talent to your in-crowd group, which you guys, I believe you guys perform pretty much all over the place. I think you were just at the car show, right?
Yeah, we don't play out regularly because, you know, we have a whole theater to run.
Right.
But it's the house band for the Spire Theater. So we play whenever we can at an event at the theater, but then we, on occasion, we'll take a gig as long as there's like time for us to take a gig off-site. Then we'll do things like, you know, the Cruise In or like a county fair or something like that.
Right. Now, coming up this weekend, you are having a Raise the Roof campaign, which I know Matt is just looking at your poster here on your Facebook page. I guess, you know, can you kind of explain to us what's happening at the Spire? I hear that you have a couple of roof issues.
Yeah, a couple is an understatement. Yeah, we a couple of years ago we found that we had a couple leaks and we were able to patch them. But then every time you patch one leak, another leak springs, and we've just been getting leak after leak after leak to the point where now there's no avoiding it. We have to replace the whole roof, and we were hoping that we could squeeze a couple more years out of the roof before we had to spend the tens of thousands of dollars it'll be in order to do that. But we just don't. We've run out of time, and we're hoping that we can raise enough money to replace the roof within the next week.
Really?
We've been working for the last 3 weeks. We've raised about an average $1,000 a week over the last 3 weeks, which is really good. But in October is really the last month for roof replacement in this part of the world, and so we're hoping to get through our crowdsourcing and through the festival that's coming up this weekend, that we can raise at least a really good majority of that amount, so that we can tell the contractors green light, time to get this roof replaced, so that the snow doesn't get into those cracks in the roof and then rip them apart, you know, because what happens is the water melts, gets into any little hole, and then it makes it bigger when it freezes. And so we'll have a major problem in the spring if we don't do something now. So that's why we started the Raise the Roof campaign. There's a capital campaign on Facebook, and you can go to the Spire Theater's Facebook page and donate there. And we've had people donate everywhere from $5 to $1,000 so far, and it's been really, really heartwarming to see these people just coming out of the woodwork to donate or share or invite their friends to donate. Just this morning, a group from Buffalo, a historical preservation group from Buffalo, shared it on their Facebook page. The Fenton Museum shared it on their Facebook page, and this is fantastic. You know, people really are coming out to help. So that's really exciting, and that's one way that people can support the cause. The other way is by coming to the Raise the Roof Art and Music Festival that's happening on Saturday at the Spire. Once several of our friends, the artists and musicians that frequent the Spire, who utilize our services or our facilities, found out that we were in that kind of need, they just started coming out of the woodwork and saying, we'll perform. Let's put on a big festival. We'll all chip in and we'll put this festival together and we'll sell tickets. And then the Olive Garden showed up and said, we'll do a pasta dinner. And it just kind of happened. It's been 4 weeks. It'll be 4 weeks from start to finish of planning this music festival. And by the end, there's I think something like 50 people involved between performing and organizing and volunteering, with like taking tickets at the door. And there's poets and there's comedians and there's musicians and singers and just you name it. All kinds of art is going to be on display, visual and performing, at this festival, and it's super exciting. It runs from 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just going to keep on going until we're done. Yeah. We had to pick a end time for the poster, so we said 3 o'clock to midnight. But it could run later. You never know. And we're just going to keep on trucking away all day long and singing and dancing and having a good time, and hopefully raise a lot of money.
That's always good. And this
Yeah.
reminds me, if I remember right, earlier this year you guys were trying to get the Spire Theater listed under the historical district for Jamestown.
Yes.
Has there been any progress there?
Okay, so yes and no. Becoming a part of the historical district is just not an option.
Okay.
We made a couple inquiries.
Inquiries?
Thank you. We asked around a little bit, and we posted on Facebook, and we've got some really good answers as to why we weren't part of the historical district, the nationally registered historical district. And it was a really good answer. We're just the district has to be continuous buildings of a certain historical relevance, and the historical district ends before City Hall even. City Hall was
Really?
built in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
So City Hall, Taco Hut, they're not included. So that they couldn't include the Spire, and that would, by default, make these more modern buildings part of the historical district. They couldn't do that. So I totally understood that. Once they explained it to me like that, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
But there's another map that we were really hoping to get put on, and that's the downtown footprint. In that, we've made a lot of progress on. The Goody Clancy firm that does all of the consulting for development for the city, they came over the summer and they took a look at the Spire, and they reevaluated the maps, and they changed the map. So we are now part of the downtown footprint.
Congratulations.
Yes.
It's very exciting.
So, and we just, not to interrupt here, Angelo,
Sure, no.
but we only obviously have a certain amount of time. I want to get back to the event. And really, for people out there who maybe are watching who are going, well, you know, Spire Theater obviously is historical, whether you're part of the city's list or not, right? And you look at what you guys really truly do for the community. I mean, for some kids, you make their dreams come true. With Chautauqua's Got Talent specifically, which, you know, at WNY News Now, we've partnered with you in years past to cover that closely. And, you know, what would you say to people who really, you know, are on the fence about donating and why they should?
Okay, so we're a very important part of the downtown landscape. We create an outlet for artists to perform, and we create a place for the culture of Jamestown to thrive. Tens of thousands of people every year come through our doors for fulfillment, whether it's as a performer or an artist or as a spectator. And this is a really special thing. We call the building as a whole the Inspire Development Center. Why? Because, well, one, the play on words, but
Right.
two, because people come there and they get inspired and they create things. In the building, we have 3 performance venues, and then we have over a dozen studio spaces where there are artists literally 24 hours every day of the week creating art. And it's something that feeds the rest of the community physically and spiritually. So it's a really great thing to invest in, and the way we're doing it by having this crowdsourcing opportunity and having these fundraisers, we're giving you, the community, an opportunity to support it on your own free will. It's not coming out of your taxpayer dollars. It's not something that's being funded through the government. You get to choose to support us. So that's why we're asking. If you want to see us thrive, we're not going anywhere. Whether you support us or not, we're staying here. We're going to be here forever. But if you want to see us really do really great things, then open your wallet and donate.
Absolutely. Angelo Giuffre, of course. Check out the Spire Theater on Facebook, and of course their event this Saturday, September 28th, starting at 3 o'clock. Thank you so much for spending time with us
Thanks
this
for having
morning. And I see he has a big cup of coffee as well.
Well,
so
you're ready for the beer and wine. So.
yeah, I know. It's already past noon. I've already been going. Angelo, thank you so much.